Welcome to That's Good Sports. I am Brandon. Please do not confuse my favorite Packers YouTuber, Tom Grossi, with Cleveland's Tony Grossi Perna. Radio host Tony Grossi of ESPN Cleveland has been suspended by ESPN for calling Baker Mayfield.
And who do we got? Fucking midget.
Cam Newton should remain in Carolina. Joe Burrow may be this year's jewel of the NFL Combine. That is a good joke. Tampa Bay is getting new uniforms, and the Broncos will not bring back guard Ron Leary. A lot of NFL news to discuss today on That's Good Sports. Hurts. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. I cover the NFL, the XFL, football news. That's what you get here, with a little twist of shitty humor. I do have Big Dick Patreon shoutouts for new donors. T. Gordon Mayhall, thank you and good luck with your pilot, my friend. Ryan Locke, Robert Fish, Tyler Avon, Benji Yag, upping to $5. Barent Winecoop, Blue Ridge Mountain Plumbing, upping to $20. The best plumbing I know is Blue Mountain. And yes, I'm saying that because they gave me $20. Drew Mestas and Tyler Feld. Patreon.com/ThatsGoodSports. That's how you can support this channel. It's how I keep the lights on. And we offer a Patreon-only video once a month there. So if you want, check it out. If not, hey, no big deal. All right, today a bunch of the player reps are meeting with the NFL Management Council Committee to hammer out some of the details of the new collective bargaining agreement because when they read it last week, they didn't like it. The player reps determined if the CBA is good enough to send to the entire pool of NFL players to vote on and pass. So if their demands are not met, the NFL cannot get the CBA approved, and I will update you when we learn more about that as the process is ongoing. And ongoing will Cam Newton's career be in Carolina with the Panthers. Because even new head coach Matt Rule knows you don't get rid of good quarterbacks in the NFL. Newton's issues have been his health. And I noted here at some point, either he heals at superhuman speed or he and the Panthers rushed him back onto the field too quickly. Last offseason, he had the same shoulder injury and surgery that sidelined Andrew Luck for well over a year. So it didn't seem right that Cam could bounce back from that same injury in half the time. But I'm not a doctor because I failed my proctology exam and never looked back. Partially because I was trained to always look down. But I couldn't even do that right. If Cam Newton is healthy, that's an easy decision as a head coach to make. You start the guy who can get you 3,600 passing yards, 22 passing touchdowns, 600 rushing yards, and 7 rushing touchdowns on average every season. And Cam is supposedly getting healthy. Cam's ceiling is league MVP. His floor is 14th or 15th best quarterback in the league. That's pretty good. I don't think Cam gets enough credit for the good things he does on the football field. I think what he does better than any QB is provide scoring options in the red zone. That's where he's the biggest threat, and that's where you see average offenses struggle. He can run, he can hand off or throw to Christian McCaffrey, and he can throw the ball effectively in red zone to goal line situations. I really did miss Cam Newton's post-game women's wardrobe showcases last year, and I am happy he's coming back. Carolina. ESPN Cleveland's Tony Grossi called Baker Mayfield a fucking midget on a hot mic when they thought they were on commercial break. Well, they were on commercial break, but for premium paid subscribers to their website, they were not. Part of the offering there is paid customers get the behind-the-scenes conversations, which is great, assuming all of your hosts know not to say
Wentz, Watson, keep it going. Mahomes,
and now Burrow. And who do we got? Fucking midget.
I think I'm actually a little more surprised to learn that Browns fans will pay for premium content. That is some loyalty right there. And what Grossi said isn't just offensive to little people. It's offensive to short people, which Grossi is at 5'7". Baker Mayfield is 6 foot or 6'1" with Dr. Scholl's inserts. If we live in a world now where those are the parameters for being a little person, just let the fucking coronavirus take me now. I can't live in that world. It is 2020, which you have to mention the year whenever someone says something that is not PC. And you should definitely not say what Tony said. It's pretty clear that little people find that word offensive. That stated, I'm wondering if this will be enough to actually get Grossi fired. The reason I wonder is because some people online quoting what was said, including Bleacher Report, have censored out the word fucking, but left the word midget. What I need to know to cover football effectively moving forward is if fucking is a worse word to use than midget. I need to know these rules, because they are hard to follow. I think this just goes to show that you should never have advertising breaks on your show. But if you do, make sure it's with Manscaped. The Lawnmower 3.0 is the greatest ball trimmer ever created. I can't believe what that fucking moron idiot fuck said on air. Man, if I ever saw Tony Grossi, I swear I would just snap out his eyeballs. I would pull out his eyeballs, and then I would squeeze them. I'd squeeze it into little drops of juice, drained into a shot glass. That's what I would do to Tony. Then I would drink it. I would drink up his eyeball juice, and then I would piss it out. So I could say to him, I just pissed away everything you've ever seen, Tony. Wait, what? No. Hot mic. What did I say? Did I say
Fucking midget.
No, I didn't say
Fucking midget.
What I really learned here was that Cleveland seems to not like Tony Grossi very much. It's never a good sign when you cover a team locally, and everyone rejoices when you get suspended. Covering local teams is incredibly easy. Give them more praise than they deserve, be critical but fair, hand out big dick player awards like candy, talk crazy shit about division rivals, and slander Tom Brady as much as possible. That's all you have to do. Grossi was apparently the type of guy who did none of that and just took shots at the organization and famously only asked Baker Mayfield dumb questions.
Stop saying but. I just told you the clock was running and we had a penalty. Do you want to give them the ball back? No, you don't play. You don't know it. That's just plain and simple. Was I happy with the drive? No, we didn't score points. It's the dumbest question you could ask. What?
Well, okay, I can kind of see why Grossi doesn't like Baker Mayfield. But after everything Baker has said and done, attacking his height is strange. It would be like if I said the worst thing about Jerry Sandusky was that his defenses always underachieved. The lesson here, kids, is to start your own show on YouTube where there are no rules. Say all of the dumb shit you want on your show. Get it out of your system. That way, if you're ever on a secret hot mic, the worst thing you will say is, how long till we're back on air? I've got last night's Chipotle to deal with. It's really hard to be heightist, racist, sexist, or homophobic if you have diarrhea.
And who do we got?
The Jets and Jamal Adams are in contract extension talks, which could keep Adams in a Jets uniform forever, for life. After all of the verbal jabs and stories around Adams' unhappiness and the Jets,
you know, it definitely hurt me. You know what I mean? I hold myself at a high level. You know, the Rams don't take calls on Aaron Donald. The Patriots don't take calls on Tom Brady.
That story is harder to believe than a local radio sports host saying something incredibly stupid. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are getting new uniforms. This is interesting considering that the Buccaneers had one of the all-time great uniforms in NFL history, replaced by one of the most average uniforms, one that reminds you of an alarm clock, which is especially cruel to show people just hours before they have to get up and go to work on Monday morning. Just kidding, people in Tampa Bay all work at strip clubs and don't have to wake up at any particular time. Usually a hangover just wakes them up naturally. And we won't get to see these uniforms until April, so there's a lot of speculation as to what they might look like. Creamsicle? Pewter, perhaps? A light shade of chartreuse? Your guess is as good as mine, but I would recommend they make it something that shows up in Jameis Winston's LASIK repaired vision if they plan on bringing him back. My favorite mock-up may be the old color scheme with the new logo, but honestly, I still love the old pirate. How could you not love a monochromatic pirate, Freddie Mercury, winking at you? It's basically the last image a football player has in his mind before he goes to sleep every night anyway. Now, the NFL Combine got underway this week, and most importantly, Joe Burrow's hands clocked in at an even 9 inches. And if you think I'm going to make a dick joke here, you're wrong. That's too played out. Instead, I'm wondering how many average-sized dicks you could fit into 9-inch hands without having a fumbling issue. Seriously though, that's a hand joke, and I don't put too much stock into hand size. Fumbling as a quarterback is usually about awareness around the pass rush and anticipating hits. Jim Druckenmiller has the largest hands for a quarterback ever measured at 11¼ inches. And sure, he never fumbled, but he also only threw 1 touchdown in his career. He did make it to the first XFL, and had he been smart, he would have charged Miller Lite $10 million to change his name to Jim Drunkenmiller Lite. Now, Daniel Jones has 9¾ inch hands, which is deemed average, and he fumbled something like 800 times as a rookie last year. Joe Burrow embraced the absurdity of hand measurements and tweeted out, "Considering retirement after I was informed the football will be slipping out of my tiny hands. Please keep me in your thoughts." Now, I'd love to buy Joe Burrow a beer, but since I too have small hands, we'd need to bring a man with us with some big mitts to pick up our giant pint glasses and feed us our pints sip by sip. Honestly, if reincarnation exists, I want to come back in my next life with 5-inch hands. That's right, the tiniest ever measured at the NFL Combine, and then go on to have a Hall of Fame career. At my induction, they'd say the only thing smaller than his hands was his heart, which is why he also became the first player to die of cardiac arrest at the Super Bowl. And his Hall of Fame induction is more of a tribute to his family since he wasn't very good. If only he weren't so damn patriotic. Maybe his little heart and hands could have made it through the national anthem. Part of me still blames Lizzo Celli for belting out the most moving national anthem our ears have ever endured. That's the daughter of Lizzo and opera singer Andrea Bocelli. I see a bright future in the world, unlike most of us. John Elway said he will not exercise the team option on Ron Leary, will exercise the team options on Brandon McManus and Todd Davis, and will franchise tag Justin Simmons if the two sides can't reach a long-term deal. These are probably the right moves all around for the Broncos. Ron Leary's gotten a little too injury-prone and unreliable. McManus became a killer after they didn't let him try that 65-yarder, and Todd Davis is still a tackling machine. Obviously, with Simmons, they're going to keep him any way they can. Any way they can. But I'll have a full Broncos free agency primer video coming up next week. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, at Brandon Perna, and follow my writing partner at Guillermo Yaves, who helped me write this football episode. He's on Twitter.